thought for most of the game we did a really good job of sharing the ball, making the extra pass. And then at the end, which is normal, defenses pick up, intensity picks up, but then we gave into that and we started watching one guy go and then watching another guy go. And we started standing around the three-point line instead of cutting to the basket. But it was, let's keep our composure. Let's stay. Let's keep trusting each other, and find a way to win this game.
So 10 games in, 5-5, seemingly playing better basketball even the last week or so. How would you look at things on this a macro level, even if it's a smaller sample size to start the season?
We're happy with where we're at right now. It's to me the most impressive thing is the effort we're getting right now every single time we play the game. Whether it was up in Portland on a tough environment tonight, having a big lead and then having to hold on to it for dear life with a team, at least two of those guys that are gone deep into the playoffs and are in the playoffs every year. So it's the fact that every night we're finding ways to compete and bring in an energy level and defend is 10 games in. I wouldn't have thought, honestly, we were at that. We were ready to start doing that. So it's nice that we're seem to be being able to carry that on a little bit.
What does the being 500, the winning 3, the last 4 games, what does that do for these guys to continue what you're talking about with trusting each other and understand that these principles you want them to keep doing?
Well, I think the winning part of it gives them confidence in the fact of what we're preaching. As far as defense gives you a chance to win every night. So whether we win that game or lose that game at the end of the night, when we're playing aggressive like that and we're defending like that and we're communicating like that, we're in the game, which is not easy at this level. There's a lot of really good teams out there, and we've played and competed and even beat a few of them so far. But I think for young players, it kind of shows them firsthand what that messaging is all about.
Luke, Brandon had 18 in the first half. He was super effective in the second quarter, and he finished with 20 for the game. What did you see differently from him in the second half?
Well, I don't think it was him again. I think it was our team. We stopped, we were getting movement into what he was scoring. I know a lot of their defense was switching, and he was making nice individual plays, but a lot of that was because we had movement and momentum built into that drive by Brandon, and the paint was open. In the second half, there was so much standing, and people were catching and holding that Memphis, who's a very good defensive team, was able to load up that defense. So there wasn't that same type of spacing and that same type of push into those drives that he was having so much success with in the first half.
Look, last time you guys were 10 or 500 was 10-10 last season. How is this team more equipped to continue forward the way you've been playing recently than last year's team?
Well, we're better defensively, and when last year we were shooting the lights out to start the season. When you shoot the ball that well, I think there's a much better chance of hitting cold streaks. And then when you get hit with some injuries like we did last year, we just didn't have the rest of the foundation set well enough to sustain that. Obviously, we got hit with a big injury already. But because of the group's willingness to buy in and compete on defense, we're going to be in every game. We might lose 7 straight, but we're going to have chances to win those games if we keep defending the way we did, which I think is the biggest difference between last year and this year.
Coach, Lonzo, 9 assists on the night, still struggling with his shot, 1 of 8 from the three-point line. What are some of the tips, just from a coaching staff perspective, you guys give to him on not just his jump shot, but maybe ways to make his life a little easier?
Well, I mean, that's kind of, not to hate on your question, but that's a general. I mean, from the footwork, to when winning the shot clock is a good shot, winning the game is a good shot, whether they're on a run or we're on a run. Like, he had a couple today that he felt like heat checks, and if he hit the one before and the crowd's behind it, I'm okay with those. And then there was other quick threes he shot when they were on a run. So it's pretty much the same shot, but just within the game, it's a different the momentum's different. So you got to learn the difference between those. So there's a lot of really small things that he's a smart player. He'll pick up on quickly. But I want him to keep shooting. I'm glad he's not turning them down. I'm glad he's trying to put pressure on the rim. And you know, the way to break through that is to just, you know, keep working after practice, coming in early, getting your shots up, and then keep doing it in the game. And eventually you'll figure it out, especially when you've been a good shooter your entire career, your entire life. You know, he'll get back.
Luke, sorry, you saw KCP go down. He's obviously he was able to come back. No ill effects.
Yeah, he's fine. KCP's fine. Yeah.
And then that Kuzma play that he inbounded it basically to a double team, was that just a little bit of rookie?
Well, that was but it wasn't just him. You know, we had 3 guys just line up across the free throw line pretty much. Nobody cut. Nobody really picked for anyone else. We had a timeout still, and that's what I was talking about, keeping our composure and doing, you know, keep doing those things, those little things that have given us a lead for most of this game. And you know, Kuzma, he takes it out of the net. He should recognize before he even take it out, we still have 1 timeout left. But we got away with it tonight, so obviously we'll take that. And I don't think you'll ever see Kuz make that mistake again, which is part of the fun of watching this team figure out how to win at this level. And be able to pull out some wins while we're doing it.
KCP had that steal and then the score at the other end. And you know, you're talking about guys responding to pressure situations.
Mm-hmm.
Is that an example of him being one of those guys who can keep his composure?
Yeah, absolutely. He's been, that's the difference between being in this league for a while. And you know, when he was in Detroit, a lot of their close games, he's the one they ran plays for. So he's taking big shots, he's hitting big shots. He hit the big one in Portland that tied the game. So it just comes with time and experience and opportunities and reps and hard work. And KCP's done that for longer than, you know, well, I think we had 3 guys on the court at the end that are all 20 years old pretty much between the 2 rookies and BI. And then we had Brooke and KCP who made some big shots for us down the stretch. And that's what veteran leadership, you know, that's where it's nice to be able to count on that type of veteran leadership.
Last question. Coach, how does Brook Lopez help your team not only with the spacing but also with the way he passed today in the first half? He had a couple of nice assists. Oh
yeah, he's you know, I've said before about him. He's just he's a very steady force for our team because he can knock down threes. We can get him the ball down in the paint. And you know, for a team that's young and you know we go through a lot of stall outs as far as scoring the ball, to have guys like him that can just get a bucket for you really gives the rest of the guys confidence. And then obviously he's been a skilled passer his whole career, so it just, you know, as a coaching staff, we're trying to emphasize to our players, cut every opportunity you get. If no one's ever going to pass them the ball, then they're going to stop cutting. So it's nice to have some players that are willing and skilled enough to make those type of passes.